Today we're on Pickwick Lake. We're fishing the ACA Pickwick Slam.
It's going to be a fun event. It's a double points event, so it's really big. It means a lot to everyone out here. There's a lot at stake.
It's time for the second stop of the year, the 2021 Pickwick Slam at Pickwick Lake in Florence, Alabama. Hundreds of the top college bass fishing teams in the nation are competing for valuable School of the Year points and over $30,000 in prizes and contingencies.
Yes, sir. That'll cool.
Biggin?
I don't know. He's coming at us now.
No.
He might be a keeper.
God, buddy.
It's pretty good coal. We'll definitely take that.
And that's what's happening.
Pickwick is on fire right now, and bass are biting all across the lake. 20-pound limits will be aplenty, and the stakes are high for these elite collegiate anglers.
23.38, 21.50, 21.50, 24.96. That's a new leader right there for today on day one, 24.96.
Who can set themselves up for a shot to claim the title this weekend? Find out next.
How about that one? That right there takes the day one lead. New leaders from Drury University. Way to go, there's your first place team. Welcome out to McFarland Park on the shores of Pickwick Lake for the 2021 Pickwick Slam. It's the last major Association of Collegiate Anglers event before we go to the championship in just over a month. Wade, everyone's really excited to be here this week. It means a lot towards the School of the Year race. Just a lot of anticipation moving about Florence here.
You know, Pickwick and Florence have been great hosts for college fishing now for over a decade, and I think the anglers like to come here. They catch a lot of fish. Fish is really big. It's very diverse, and in Florence, I mean, it's hard to beat them as a host city. They roll out the red carpet for these college kids, and they always have since our first visit. And then you throw in the School of the Year as we're rounding out the season. This is going to be a pretty epic event.
It's going to be a fun event. It's a double points event, so it's really big. It means a lot to everyone out here. There's a lot at stake. And right now we're leading, Monteval's leading the Team of the Year race, but not by much. Teams are catching up, so someone out here has to make it happen. We're used to coming here in the summer for the championship over the course of the last 8 or 10 years. One of the last times that you guys were here, I got to fish in the event when it was the Big Bass Bash during the spring. Now that we're fishing in the spring, we've had a lot of water moving through the Tennessee River. It's a different time of year. The fish aren't out on these ledges that we're used to seeing them at. Where are we going to find these anglers concentrating during the tournament?
Well, first off, by design, we wanted to come to Pickwick at a different year. Throw a little curve, different time of the year. Throw a little curveball to the anglers. Let them have to fish a different time of the year. Fish up shallow, some in the current, and always in the spring on the Tennessee River, you're going to see massive fluctuations of water. I mean, that river was designed for flood control, so they may move a ton of water one day and not as much the next, and it will impact the bite and how these anglers set up to fish.
Game plan coming down here was fish shallow, getting brush and beat the bank, but after Wednesday morning and the afternoon, we obviously knew the fish weren't shallow. We kind of transitioned to doing stuff we do back home, and it started paying off for us, so we got a decent pattern going, and hopefully it sticks true for us.
Today we had a slight delay this morning. Some storms rolled through the area. We played on the safe side, getting these anglers out. A little bit of rain falling, not a lot to impact the day, but it's going to be cloudy. Sets up for very good springtime conditions for these anglers to go out and catch fish in the cloudy conditions as these fish are up shallow.
You know, when you have a low pressure, when you have a storm front come through, I've always believed that's when the fish are the most active. You know, if you have a day that it's bluebird, the fish, I mean, it's a picnic day. The fish don't bite as good, they're not as aggressive, they don't expand their zones. You get a cloudy day with some low pressure and rain rolling through, that barometer drops down, the fish get aggressive, and guys can cast, chunk, and wind. It opens up the entire tackle box.
I really don't think the weather's gonna hurt us all that much. We're fishing kind of like some staging stuff, so if anything, I think the weather is going to help us.
I think the weather's helped it. I believe the fish should be biting. They should still be there, and if they are, it should be a good time.
Let's talk about some of the sections of the lake now that these anglers are going to be concentrating on. You've got a lot of little arms and different creek channels where they can get back up in that we aren't typically seeing anglers in because we've been here in the past during the summer, and also too the tail race is going to really play a key factor. Talk about those two different types of areas where the anglers are going to fish.
Tail race, first off and foremost. I mean, when you've got water coming through those tail races, it doesn't matter what time of the year, it's going to energize the bite. It's going to activate the entire food chain there, and everything bites then. I mean, your smallmouth, largemouth, catfish, sand bass, drum, guys are going to catch everything. So that's going to definitely play a role. The fingers, the arms that you were talking about, the pockets, fish are up shallow. Some of them are wanting to spawn. Some of them may have already spawned in some of these situations. The shallow cover there is going to play a role. And with the recent rains, you can have a little bit of flow in there that muddies some of that water. That can generate some bites. And then of course, grassy flats. I mean, this is just the time of the year that the entire body of water is available for anglers to fish. And it really, like I said earlier in the conversations, it opens up the entire tackle box.
Coming up after the break, we go out onto Pickwick Lake to check in with some of the top-ranked teams and see just how well the fish are biting. Stay tuned to see some of the great fish catching action.
There's no feeling like it. When you've prepped the gear, done the research, found the spot, nailed the presentation, and now there's only one thing left to do. Keep fishing. So gear up with all the best fishing gear, only at Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's. Shop in-store or online.
When there's miles of water in front of you and hundreds of feet below, you need a boat with the chops to dominate, no matter the conditions. With the strength and technology to overcome the elements and the competition. Ranger Boats, still building legends, one at a time.
You have a full-time job and you want to be a full-time angler. Don't waste time scouting. You want to catch fish. That's where Garmin comes in. Our mapping with Navionics data lets you see more detail than the fish do. It's kind of a big deal. Oh, and our industry-leading live sonar is so crisp and clear you'll think you jumped in. You're welcome. Now, if only we had a powerful, efficient, whisper-quiet trolling motor. Actually, we do. It's called Force. We knew you'd like that. Less time finding, more time catching fish. Only with Garmin.
Welcome back to coverage of the Bass Pro Shops Collegiate Bass Fishing Series and the 2021 Pickwick Slam on Pickwick Lake in Florence, Alabama. Let's go out on the water now to highlight some of the great fish catching action.
Good one? That's better. Oh, yeah, that's a good one. Good job. Get ready. Oh, yeah, here we go. Bad one. Begging. This up. There you go. There you go. Not big, but give it a little start. A little burnish around this here. Got him. He feels better. Yes, sir. That'll coal. It's a pretty good coal. We'll definitely take that. There's one. Still, I got one. Biggin? I don't know. He's coming right at us now. No, it might be a keeper. I'll bump him, but he might be a keeper. Oh, yeah. Number two. Not big of one, but he's two. Just got some rock and mud mixed together, just sitting on behind these docks, you know, under walkways and stuff, where they can spawn and be protected from their natural predators. We don't even know where the fish are. We're just taking guesses and throwing. Legit. We can't see him or anything. There we go. That doesn't fish. That's a little bit better one. Oh, dude, hold up. Do not stab that fish. Yeah. And that's what's happening.
He's not that big.
Not that big.
He might help. No, he ain't gonna help. I got you.
No. Forever squirrels.
You know it's a good day when those don't help. So this morning we come here in practice. We caught 2 good ones and a few shorts. So we decided to come up here and start with the clouds. I figured the smallmouth would bite the big ones. So we pulled up, and in the first few casts on the shaky head, I caught a 4-4. And then went a little while, and we got up in the heavy current. I figured there'd be a big one up there, and we hadn't chucked a spinnerbait all practice, and I had one tied on, and I broke my swim bait off. So I figured might as well throw it up there. So I threw it up there, and it was drifting down them trees, and a 613 ate it. Biggest smallmouth of my life, so I thought it was a giant. And then just kind of picking at them. Since then, we caught 2 more 4-pounders on the spinnerbait. And we're still catching a few little ones, but right now the big ones are biting, so we just need one more to get rid of a 2-pounder.
We've gotten a lot of reports off the water. We're seeing anglers have success today up at the tail race. Let's talk about that a little bit. It's kind of unique to the Tennessee River. You don't see a lot of places where water's come out of the back of the dam and you can get up in there, but in Alabama, it's a big player across the state. Let's talk about how you fish that. The first time that I went up there, I've never seen one. Me and my partner, we pull up and there's guys fishing these little eddies and current seams, and it's almost like they're speaking a totally different language. Some of the stuff is obvious. You can see the current breaks around where the water's pushing through as there's a lot coming right now. What are some nuances or maybe little things they're keen on to find these smallmouth up in the current?
Hey Kyle, exactly. I remember the first time I pulled up in a tail race, I mean, I got nervous right away. My stomach got tight. It's a different environment and it is a different language. Different baits, different presentations, different casting angles. And if you're not familiar with that, it can be very overwhelming. Sure, you can just chunk and whine and you're gonna find something out there, but they're just like anything. Offshore fishing, shallow water, in the tail race, there are little nuances that an angler can pick up on. It's gonna play big to some of the anglers that have experience or have studied it. In today's world, you can get on YouTube and learn anything. You may not be a master of it, but you can understand how to set up. And I know from experience now, having fished tail races, the exact one we're fishing here and then up on Wilson and others, if you position your boat the right way, you can make the same cast over and over where its seam is, where an eddy is. It's amazing how many fish you can quickly load the boat with.
We got somewhere between 23 and 25 in the box right now.
All browns.
Yeah, all brown. But honestly, I think we're doing it differently. I think we're letting it drift down. It's more like a fly fishing technique, honestly, in my opinion, because it just looks so natural to them. Everybody's just chunking and winding up here, and I think the reason why we were catching them earlier this morning and other people weren't was because we were letting it drift down. It just looks super natural coming up over the rocks and stuff. But we got super fortunate and caught them. It was awesome. It was a great day. I'd never imagined catching 24 pounds of smallmouth ever in my life.
It's a smallmouth too, I think.
God, almighty. I don't know if will it help?
I don't know.
We'll see. Looks like about a 4.5. I don't think she's gonna help.
Yeah, this one's bigger.
I think that left, yeah, the one in your right hand. For sure. Oh yeah. I really didn't think we were gonna cull for the rest of the day.
The Yamaha VMAX V6 SHO continues to deliver the level of performance that pro bass and multi-species anglers demand. Underneath a bold and aggressive new look, an upgraded charging system with 40% more charging power meets the amped-up demand for today's advanced electronics. The VMAX SHO, raw power, reliability, and exhilarating performance for every angler who loves the sport enough to invest in the best. Yamaha, reliability starts here.
Want to know the difference between power bait and other soft plastics? Ask the fish. Berkeley scientists have thousands of flavors tested on thousands of fish. Natural, man-made. Every bait that's ever hit the water. And no matter the shape, size, or color, power bait is the only one that is scientifically proven. Fish bite and will not let go.
As a professional angler, you've got so many things on your mind. Any advantage that we have is key. And not only rods and reels and lines and baits, but in our clothes. And the guys at AFCO, I mean, they have something for every situation. There's nothing AFCO hasn't thought about with the fishermen in mind. It's designed for fishermen, by fishermen, for every scenario you can come to. Any fish, any water, any condition, AFCO has you covered.
University of Montevallo, going into this event, we're leading school of the year by I think about 700 points. A couple other teams are coming up too. And there's still a handful of tournaments left in the year, so we definitely someone's gotta show out at this event. With it being a double points event, that would be huge for someone to do really well.
University of Montevallo, as we talked about during the Big Bass Bash, has put together a great season so far. They capitalized on a victory there, and they're continuing to distance themselves. Now we're in their home state. We're at Pickwick Lake. We've got a crew out there with them this morning. We're also following two of the other top teams in the top three in McKendree University and Murray State. But Montevallo, they're the ones everybody's after. Can they continue to build on that momentum this week, or does the kind of the wild card factor of how the lake's setting up and these fish are everywhere and anybody can catch them at any time open up the door for someone to come in and sneak up on them?
This is a hard events to cover where the fish can be caught anywhere, and any team can stumble on a mother lode, especially at Pickwick. This lake's just full of them, so you never know how that's going to play out. But Montevallo, as we've talked about before, they're fishing great as an entire team, not just one team of two anglers is carrying them. It's across the board, so it'll be interesting to see who steps up to help them, out today, or will anybody step up? And if they don't, you definitely open the door up, this being a double points events, for somebody to come from way back in the pack and dominate this event.
Well, behind McKendree, I think it's only a few hundred points.
Right.
But behind Montevallo, it's like
we're down
it's like a few thousand.
Yeah.
So
either 1,800, 2,000, something around there.
Doing well, having two teams do well in this tournament is crucial.
Yeah.
Like, we need that to happen. Because these double points events, they can make or break your season, your school of the year.
Yes, sir. We're doing pretty good in the School of the Year race. Right now we're sitting in 12th place. We dropped a little bit after the last tournament, but I think we can definitely make up some points in the coming tournaments. Hopefully this finish here will give us some good points. We're just hoping for a good finish. I know a lot of our other Tarleton teams are doing pretty well. We've heard some good things out of practice from them, so hopefully we can get on them and the other teams can get on them too, and we can maximize our efforts for points.
Looking at the standings right now, they have Montevallo has just over 1,000-point lead over McKendree, a little more than 2,000-point lead over Murray State. So talking about the double points you mentioned, that's gives a team, if they have two teams in the top 10, top 5, they're going to get about 1,750 to 2,000 points for the weekend. Now, if someone stumbles a little bit, there's a chance to make up a lot of ground, or in the event for Montevallo, if they have a great week, they could all but shut the door on this race.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's look at the teams behind them, McKendree and Murray and some of the other ones that are historical collegiate powers. McKendree has had great success on Pickwick before, but it's a little bit later in the year. They've really understood the ledge game. How will they adapt to this time of the year? They've got great anglers. I think they'll be fine. Murray State, another team that understands current. They live on the Kentucky lake up from there. They understand current and a little bit and some of the flow, and they've also got experience there. I look for them all to do well this week, but there's probably going to be a wild card team this week. Somebody we're not expecting to get the right seam, to pick up on the right school of fish somewhere. That's going to shake up the standings.
After the break, We go back to McFarland Park in Florence, Alabama to weigh in some fish and find out who will be leading this elite field after day one of competition. Keep it tuned here for more.
Born in Japan, FC Sniper became the #1 fluorocarbon line in the Japanese market. It transitioned to the U.S. in the early 2000s and continues to grow in prominence with anglers. FC Sniper is the flagship product in the American market and bestseller. It features the perfect blend of abrasion resistance, low memory, and tensile strength. FC Sniper is offered in pound tests that range from 2 pound to 30 pound and in spool sizes up to 1,200 yards. FC Sniper has the strength to guarantee your confidence.
Things you let me see. Things you let me see.
You've already discovered the secret to success with the Secret Lures Stupid Tube and landed big one after big one. Well, now, Secret Lures is giving you even more fish catching chances with the all-new Stupid Craw. Sized to fit the 4/0 Secret Lures Stupid Tube jig head, the Stupid Craw has you covered from the brand new 5/16 ounce down to an 1/8 ounce jig head. On the belly of the craw, you'll find 2 molded dots that act as a rigging guide, giving the jig head perfect alignment when rigged. The Stupid Craw also boasts a hook trough that protects the hook from snags and vegetation, allowing for a perfect weedless presentation. Anyone at Secret Lures will tell you, the Stupid Craw is 3.7 inches of crawdad goodness that you're going to want in your tackle box this year. So head on over to secretlures.com for more information about the brand new Stupid Craw by Secret Lures.
Host site this week for the Pickwick Slam is Florence, Alabama. We're at McFarland Park on the shores of Pickwick Lake. Place it's kind of become a second home for the Association of Collegiate Anglers. Been coming here for almost 10 years, maybe even a little more now, to host national championships, regular season events, you name it. We've been here for a little bit of everything. What makes this such a unique place and special place that we keep coming back to bring all these college anglers to compete at?
Well, first off, this fishery is diverse. All the college anglers like coming here, and they travel from long distances to spend the entire week here with not only their team, but their family and friends and sponsors that come. But Florence as a whole, what a great host city. You've got a phenomenal fishery as the backdrop. We talked about that before. You've got lots of restaurants, you've got lots of things to do, and you've got a city that rolls out the red carpet. They understand and they appreciate the value that everything that is put into an event like this.
So it's always really nice having this tournament here in town, whether it's the championship or the tournament we have this weekend. I mean, it's nice having people come back and forth each year, and now it's basically like their family and they're here at home.
1794, 2150, 2150.
We go now to McFarland Park, where teams are beginning to bring fish to the scales and climb their way up the leaderboard.
2338, 2338. And if I heard him right, it's 5 smallmouth. This can be an awesome picture coming up right here. Puts him in first place for the event. That's a big one. We're going to weigh big bass here in just a second. This is one of the biggest smallmouth I've seen in a long time. 661, 661 on that smallmouth.
Caden Tanner and Samuel Clymer from Tarleton State University set the bar high early with a 5-fish limit of smallmouth bass weighing 23.38 pounds. It'll take a limit of fish averaging almost 5 pounds apiece to knock them off of that top spot.
Guys, we need 2339. What do you think you got? I'm hoping above that. Your hopes are coming true. 2496. That's our new leaders right there. James and Chance, University of Montevallo, 2496.
It was a blessed day, man. Honestly, we got up there, we caught some good ones early, and we had 19 pounds by like 9:30, and we blasted off at 8:30. I never dreamt that we were going to end up catching 24.96.
Yeah.
man, it was just a blessed day. I was so excited. It was so much fun. There's a lot of people up there. I'm guessing there's going to be a lot more tomorrow, but we'll hope we'll play some bumper boats and get some big ones in the bag.
I don't know. We'll see.
James Willoughby and Chance Schwartz from top-ranked Montevallo claimed the day one lead with 24.96 pounds. The Tarleton State duo of Caden Tanner and Samuel Clymer are in second with 23.38, and Landon Smith and Jacob Scrimshire round out the top three. These anglers from Calhoun Community College bring in 23.05 pounds on day one. A total of 6 limits over the 20-pound mark crossed the scales today, all separated by less than 5 pounds entering the final day of competition.
And that concludes Day 1 coverage from Pickwick Lake and the 2021 Pickwick Slam. On the next episode of the Bass Pro Shops Collegiate Bass Fishing Series, we'll bring you Day 2 coverage and award over $30,000 in prizes and contingencies. Thanks for watching. This has been a Careco TV production.
TH Marine has been producing top-of-the-line marine accessories to rig boats from transom to trolling motor for decades. From jack plates to fish care to LEDs, TH Marine has you covered. TH Marine, outfitting your boat from transom to trolling motor.
The lightest rod ever built. All new nanocarbon technology, 25% more casting distance, digitally controlled braking, incredible sensitivity, magnetically sealed components, micro-computer monitor, more sensitive than tournament ever. Step up your game. The only rod for your boat. It is real activity.
Everybody knows somebody that just seems to have things go wrong around him. And for me, it's my good buddy Z when he heads to the water. It's like a black cloud follows this guy around. He runs out of gas, locks his keys in the car, or worse, has a flat tire coming to him from the water. But old Z's a pretty sharp guy. He relies on BoatUS in those situations where something goes wrong.
BoatUS has the finest low-cost boat insurance and the largest fleet of towboats ready to assist you 24/7. Visit BoatUS.com.
Hey, 3 key rods that played a great deal in my success this year on the Bass Pro Tour Trail was the 7'4" multi-spin spinning rod in our lithium series. Another rod that I used a lot this year was our 7'2" Covart heavy action rod. Last but not least is our lithium 884 in the heavy action. So check them out. Denali rods, I think you'll be happy with the success you receive from them.
From sun up to sundown, day in and day out, we work hard. We play hard. And to keep us going during those long hours, we demand performance. Angle Coolers, the original high-performance cooler. We don't have a large laboratory to test baits. Why, you ask? We don't need a big laboratory because our pros fish, our employees fish, our owners fish, and our kids fish. This is our laboratory, Our R&D comes from time on the water. All that time on the water brings us thousands of hours of testing new products and improving current ones for all species. Big Bite Baits, designed to bring the big bite to your line.
Hey! You make me come alive. You make me come alive. I just can't believe life's a tide of moments just like these. We can hardly breathe. Let's jump into another sea. Oh, you bring out the best in me. Hey! You make me come alive.
I've never felt so free.
Can't get you off my mind.
You're such a part of me.
We're gonna fly so high.
There's still so much to see.
You make me come alive. I never felt so free.